Today I'm going to give you a review on a new book by Fredrik Backman called Beartown. And it just came out a few days ago, so I got it, and today's review is on the audiobook of it. I got the audiobook from Audibles. It wasn't too bad of a price. I just got it with my membership. And it is read by Marilyn Ireland, and she does a really good job reading it. I was quite happy with her reading of it. And I don't know if you've read other books by Backman, but if you haven't, go read them. He has a relatively distinct style, and I really like it. He's become one of my favorite authors. And so, Beartown is a pretty good book. I really liked it. I'd say it's different than Backman's previous works, like A Man Called Uva. And so, if you're thinking you're going to get the exact thing again, it's not quite the same. It's a little bit different. I'm not going to give you any spoilers, and so don't worry about that. But, the difference is, he has a tendency, like in A Man Called Uva, for example, he gives you a couple of characters that the book is mostly about. That's, they're the main characters of the whole story. And you really fall in love with those characters, and you really just love those characters. He's done this in his previous 3 books. And this one's different. You really don't have a single character like that. In place of the character, this is my interpretation, you have the entire community of Beartown. And what the community's like. It covers lots of characters through the whole town from all walks of life there. And you get a feeling of what it's like from the richer end of town to the poorer end of town. And so the book brings you into this community, and then on what happens and what unveils throughout it. The whole community is hockey. It's all they care about there is hockey. It's your only life goal is to play hockey. And so, and then how this affects the whole community as the events unfold. It's a very good book. I really loved it. I listened to it solid until I was finished. I listen to audiobooks because I don't have time to read much, and so I can listen to audiobooks while I'm working. And so all my book reviews and all the books I read, they're almost all audiobooks. And so when I say that a reader's good, they're good, and this one was good. Marilyn did a really nice job reading this. She did a really good job ranging through all the characters of men and women, and I was really impressed with her reading of it. So, as you read this book, it'll really get to you on all levels. It's funny in spots, it's sad in spots, it'll make you cry. But it is just an incredible book. I really cannot recommend it enough. And other than that, I'd say the one thing on a more serious part of it is, it kind of depends on what your opinion is of language. Because this book, he uses a lot more language. He uses the F word 100-fold over the other books easy. Which, I know a lot of people that doesn't bother, and that's fine, but if you've read his other books like Man Called Uva, and it wasn't bad there. And so if you're not much for that, or your kid's going to read it, it's just something to keep in mind, and you might want to listen to it first before you let somebody very young listen to it. And so that's up to you, it's your discretion. And, but this book's really, it's a kind of a coming-of-age story in areas. It's kind of a story of being a parent. It's a story of being a coach, an athlete, of being an outsider in a community, of being the only person in your community that's like you when it seems like nobody else is, and you really can't let them know how much you dislike something or like something. And so it can probably relate to almost anybody. And I would almost really even recommend, if the language isn't a problem for you, having your young teenager read this, 13, 14, that'd be a great book for them. This book has a lot of great moral values in it. And not in the preachy sense or anything, but it really just gives you a view of all sides of things. And it's kind of a good life lesson, I think, for anybody on a book like this. It makes you see things maybe you didn't notice before or wouldn't have thought of like that before. And so Backman just really hit it out of the park again with this book. And so, to me, his last 3 books have all been like that. I've just loved all of his works. And so, I can't really recommend it enough. I'm not really sure what else to say without spoiling anything for you. So, go get it. Read the hard copy. If you want to listen to the audiobook couldn't be better. They're both from Simon & Schuster, and they do a good job with them. And, yeah, I just really loved it. Can't recommend it enough. Go read them.